Good evening from Brickworks. I've done this climb once before, my first hill climb video. It's a hard climb for me, just not to my forte at all. And today there is a howling headwind, worse than last time. It's going to be very tough. I'm really excited for the challenge. I'll leave the cameras running. Let's see what we do. Did you like me trying to be positive there? I'm excited for the challenge. 2.7k, 5% average. I was not excited for the challenge. I was dreading a climb that I know I am terrible at. Welcome to Brickworks. 1 minute before me, my mate Charlie from Wirral set off. A bit of a head-to-head. He's going amazingly at the moment, so he was still sore from the Fred Whitten and yet putting down incredible power. I set off too hard here, as you can probably see. I wanted to get up to speed on the flat before the first inflection of gradient, and then I was hoping, I'm quite good at pacing myself once I'm going uphill at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10%, that's fine. Then I can find myself very steady, but knowing how fast to go to get up to speed is hard. Brickworks is very nice actually. It's a really pretty road. I've never really taken it in before, but the road surface is horrendous. There's so many bits of potholes, and I'm racing on my Cannondale. I don't know what to make of carbon tubs that weigh less than a kilo total between them, so I'm always terrified they're just gonna collapse in on themselves. Beautiful evening, as you can see. That low sun shining through the trees gives such a glow, and it was just phenomenal to be part of. I was just kind of going hard to here, knowing that soon we're going to see Rhiannon sitting on a wall, which is where she was sat last time. You can hear her, the cowbells going beautifully, and it's always nice to hear that noise. I couldn't actually see where she was because of her perch position, but I knew that I needed to be going fast for there so that she could take some cool photos of me. They were truly terrible. I mean that respectfully, absolutely some of the worst photos I've ever seen of me doing a hill climb, but never mind. I couldn't feel comfortable on this climb. I couldn't just get into a rhythm and put it out, and that's always what I find up here. I don't know why that is. Especially once I've got through that little bit where the cafe is, that sort of built up section, not properly built up. I really like that section. It feels so Peak District character. It's so iconic. But that's probably, it's less than a third of the way up, maybe a quarter of the way up. And I'm often too tired by there, when really the hardest is yet to come. It's around this corner, and you need to then just focus. It becomes a lot more exposed, and you need to continue putting power out, but not exposing yourself to the wind too much, which is really hard to do. Even though as it gets steeper again and there's some people cheering you on and stuff, normally that would make it a little bit easier. I'll talk more about this later, but I'm getting concerned that I've bought a fancy hill climb bike and I never do good power on it. And I'm starting to think, 1, what if the geometry just doesn't suit me? 2, what if it's the group set? I mean, I don't want to be too negative, but I hate it. I don't like riding this bike. The fact that it's SRAM Red 10 or the 20, so it can be really light, but it's shit. I don't like the way SRAM gears change anyway. I'm used to it. They're just rubbish. And I don't trust it to not slip if I'm shifting or whatever. So I'm really considering just going back to racing on my bike that's 2 kilos heavier, and I can change comfortably and everything works. These wheels rub half the time. I can't get the brakes to not be loose. Tightening the bolt at the back doesn't stiffen them up. I don't know why that is. So there's quite a few things that I'm not sure about, and I thought I was going to buy a derailleur so I could fit a bigger set at the back, because I've only got a 25 cog, so it's a 34-25 as the maximum. But then I don't know if I want to spend 200 odd pounds on something I just don't really like. It's just extra sunk cost. So that's what's going through my mind at the moment. I am not sure, but I'm going to keep racing on it, see what happens. It is indisputably very, very light, and that is advantageous. Few times I'm doing much worse power than I ever have, and yet setting a fastest time. So that's a little bit of a trade-off, but it's just frustrating knowing that I did this and I was fully, absolutely destroyed at the end of it, and yet my power was, well, power that I should be holding for 15 minutes. I've done it for 7 and I could barely crank any power out at the end. Coming along here felt hard. It's not very steep at all, and I knew that I needed to get up to speed, but I just could not keep an acceptable amount of power out as I tried to get lower on the bars. You can see in my shadow that I'm on the drops. I'd never normally ride on the drops, but it just felt a little bit easier for getting the power out, and then here comes this. In my head, it's kind of the final steep bit, but actually you turn around and this drags on a little bit longer. Now, I'm about 5 minutes into this climb, and if you remember, if you watched my Berwyn back road climb the other week, I think I did, for 7.5 minutes, I did 385 watts. And at this point, I think my average here is 350, and I'm just exhausted, which is a bit demoralising. Something about this year, I know, I had major surgery 8 months ago, and I've spent a long time lying on my back and stuff, and I'm not oblivious to that. People think I'm not taking that seriously enough, but I feel like they're denying my right to be disappointed, which is a weird thing. I don't want to have to go, oh, it's okay for me to be worse now. I want to hold myself to the same standard. So I was pretty disappointed with my power output on this occasion, but hopefully that's fuel for the fire. It has not put me off these hill climbs whatsoever, by the way. I love this series. As we were warming up, there were just so many people I recognised from last year, and I vaguely remember their first names. They recognise me, and everyone's so friendly. We're all warming up on the same roads, and people are going, oh, hi Nick, how you doing? How's your leg? And I'm thinking, I think that guy's name's Patrick, I'm going to say hello, and there's Martin, who I often end up next to, and it's just such a nice bunch of people, fiercely competitive for themselves, and such a welcoming feel. If I'm honest with you, this group of people is more welcoming than the cycling club I started with when I was a junior. It's a way nicer bunch, and even though we're competitors against each other, I feel much more a part of something by doing this. And I think that comes from Mac Wheelers and from Beamer, the way they organise this. It's a culture that's fostered incredibly. I haven't said on here, but this series is dedicated to one of their riders who passed away earlier in the year, so I don't know much about that. Hopefully I'll chat to Beamer and get the story and tell you about it next time, but it'd be nice to sort of remember Mike as they want to, Mike Stretch. Unfortunately, using the phrase an infinite stretch to the line as Beamer has, this did feel infinite, and I did not put good power down. So here I come through at the end, truly shocking power. But alas, I hope you've enjoyed Brickworks. I don't know if I enjoyed the climb or my lack of power, but I enjoyed the evening a phenomenal amount regardless. And actually, do you know what? I came 5th, so can't complain too much about that. 2 seconds down on Charlie. I reserve the right to be annoyed about losing to my mate by 2 seconds, but I'm buzzing for him and how well he's doing at the moment. You can see the analysis there, 351 average for that duration. Pretty rubbish for me, to be honest. As I say, I should be doing that for a lot longer, but it was my fastest time up here, even though I was a good 15 watts down on the power I did in the last hill climb I did up here that I was also disappointed in. So be it, we're in that cycle. Bring on Blaze Hill next week. Let's see if I can do any better, and hopefully I can make you all a better video. Right, thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll speak to you soon.